What's up, Johnny?
The real Johnny right here, baby. Johnny.
We're playing with Johnny and... What's up, man?
Best YouTube blogger right here.
What's your name?
Antonio.
Antonio. You know that's my middle name?
Yeah?
Yeah, Johnny Antonio.
What?
Yeah, I'm between Johnny and Antonio.
I know.
I've been watching. It's really hard to focus though because up on the screen right here, my brother is up there playing the final table of the World Series of Poker Circuit event. He's doing really well. He's chip leader with 5 left. So I'm stuck a couple like $300 or so. Not really focusing, just looking at the TV and watching him. But as soon as he wraps up this victory, I hope he wraps it up. I'm gonna get back to mixing it up. This room is full. Every single seat is taken. There's people on the waiting list, and man, it's crazy in here. Cash games seem good. I'm gonna hop in and try to run this back up and keep watching my brother. Welcome back to the vlog, guys. This is the first interesting hand that I wanted to cover. It's actually something that I used to do a lot more of in middle stakes, but I do this a lot less in the high stakes, mostly because these spots don't come up, but secondarily because it's just not a good idea to inflate pots with bad hands. But I can't help myself when I'm playing a little bit smaller. When I see a spot, sometimes I take the spot regardless of what I'm holding. And a lot of players like to telegraph the strength of their hand based on their raise sizing. This is something that happened in this game when an early position player made it 15 and got 1 caller. I was in the cutoff with 8-9 offsuit, and I decided to 3-bet here and take the initiative against 2 players that are going to have a weak range. So I went ahead and made it 75. The button overcalled after thinking about folding. We have a pretty good flop. Flop is king 8-6 with 2 diamonds. I elected to c-bet here, but in hindsight, I think I want to put this one in my checking range. As played, I bet $110, and Antonio thought about it for a while and called. All kinds of stuff can happen here on the turn since we do have a backdoor flush draw, backdoor straight draw, a pair. We can make trips, we can make 2 pair, all kinds of stuff. But none of that stuff happens on the Queen of Clubs turn card. So even though the board is double flushed now, 2 diamonds, 2 clubs, I don't think that I can value bet here very effectively. It's going to be pretty thin. So I like to check it over to Antonio. And he thinks about it for a little bit before putting out a sizable bet of $260. After I decide to fold, I do a little table talk with Antonio, insinuating that he could definitely have Jack 10 suited or King Queen in this spot. King Queen. And sure enough, he shows me the Jack 10 of clubs. He turned a flush draw to go along with his open ender. So it looked like Antonio had some evil intentions, but then got the nut turn card for him. A little while later, after changing tables, I'm at a pretty crazy table now. When I look down at pocket 10s in early position, go ahead and open it up to 25. Get 4 callers, and then the big blind makes it 150. So there is a ton of dead money here. I decide to, rather than call, because if I call, pretty much everyone is going to call behind me. And even though I raised from under the gun and I got 3-bet, I just decide to go with it here, and I make it 425.
I'm all in.
That's a call.
What you got?
8s.
And it's a good thing that I put the money in pre-flop because the flop came ace 9-9. Most definitely would not have won this hand if I would have decided to just call pre-flop. Short while later, still in the same game. Thank you to Avi and the Poker Traveler for capturing some unique angles of this hand. There's an early position player that limped, and I went ahead and ISO raised with Jack 8 of diamonds. Got a call from the blind, and the limper called. We went 3 ways to a flop. And then call, limp call, flop.
You see a lot of limp calls here in San Antonio.
Flop, he checks, and then he donk bet. And then
work out for him.
I snap call right here.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're working with, some sort of draw? I think he needs some help.
You need some help. Good luck. I hope you hold, man.
Like 360 altogether?
He threw like an excessively more than he needs to.
We get it in for around $400.
Back. 100. That's right. It's coming, guys.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
That one's got to go on, John. You got to put that one in. Hold on. That one's got to go in. You got to put that one in, John.
No, that one's not making the ball.
Oh, man.
That hand sent me down a path of running pretty poorly the rest of the night. And we ended up cashing out this many chips, which does not look like the 3,000 that I bought in for.
All right, bye guys. Say bye.
Bye. Have a good one, Johnny. Nice to meet you.
Second appearance on the vlog.
Take care, man.
Repeat.
Hey, what's up, guys? I'm in San Antonio, Texas with Brad Owen and Andrew Neeme. I'm actually with Andrew Neeme right now. He's over there somewhere flying the drone. We are trying to get some good shots of San Antonio. I've been here for a day and a half now. Got here yesterday and was playing some cash games. And go up. And now there's a security officer riding through right when we're flying the drone. So he's giving me a look right now. And he doesn't see the drone or hear the drone, so I think we're good. And Andrew, he just rode on by like nothing, so we're good. So Andrew is still incognito flying the drone right now. And yeah, so yesterday I was really preoccupied with my brother final tabling the bike WSOP Circuit event, and it was just a dominating performance. I was glued to the TV.
It's a very big bet.
I like this line from Andrew.
Yeah.
Goes ahead and forces the fold. Looks like Jordan's considering a 3-bet. Andrew's been opening very wide. And he hits him with the 4-bet. 700,000. Wow. 800,000. This is a bit maniacal.
About to make a pretty large bet here.
Yeah, and it works.
Wow, that's a sick play.
Very difficult situation there.
When people are capable of putting pressure on you like that, and Andrew clearly has been going for it.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy how many bluffs Andrew has had, actually.
He was playing so well, and it was such a treat to watch as an older brother. Unfortunately, he got coolered in the last hand, and it didn't work out in his favor. He still won 130,000 though. Obviously, he's happy with that, but in a tournament, you're never truly happy unless you get first place. People that don't play tournaments don't really understand this, but it is a thing. It's for sure a thing. Second place feels not the best, even though when you get removed from it a little bit, a couple weeks later, the money obviously feels good. But another side effect is that I caught the tourney bug a little bit, and I think that I really want to invest more time into tournaments, and I think it's the next logical step for me in my poker career. So I've reached out to some poker training sites that do tournament training, waiting on them to get back to me. I think I'm gonna do something this summer, make a run this summer in Vegas, all the World Series of Poker events, maybe put together like a 30K package or something. Something that will be a great sweat for the vlog as well, and something that will really challenge me. Something similar to the 30-day Embrace the Grind, but it'll be like a 30-day WSOP grind. So now that I have this tourney bug, it's probably time to start playing some tournaments. So I'm gonna play a tournament at Rounders Card Club tonight and get my feet wet. And the next tournament on my list will be Run It Up Reno. I'm gonna play the main event at Run It Up Reno and see how those two goes in the next couple weeks and formulate a plan, and we'll go from there. All right, so we show up to Rounders Card Club, ready to go for the tournament. Make our way inside. Brad is already there because he's been on a weird sleep schedule. Tournament is getting ready to start. And see that red chip right there off to the side? That is the bounty chip. And since there was a $100 bounty on me and the buy-in was only $200, I think people are going to be taking their shot at me. So I play a little bit tight and I dwindle down a little bit before the blinds start escalating. And I find the perfect reshove spot See that? It's pretty good. Owen.
There's that bounty we've been looking for. Get it done.
With around 14 big blinds or so, the small blind thinks about it for a little bit and calls off his entire stack. The original raiser calls all in as well.
And as well. Pocket jacks. Oh, we got an over.
And we have a king.
7? Is that king 7?
What do we got over there? King 5?
I say king 7.
Ace.
I say king 7.
I need a fader, an ace, and a king.
Sir, you're basically facing ace king. I got a good feeling about a king. You do have change back?
Not gonna lie.
And then I'm only in for 100, and I include.
I still don't know what this is. Right?
King 7.
Very dramatic.
I didn't want to do it, I was like, out there.
Oh my god.
King in the window, right?
Now we're down to 1 out. Jack. Having us both covered. As you can see, he hits a king, so we end up rebuying for another $160. So we're in the tournament for $360 now, and I end up rebuying, picking up ace 9 of clubs when the blinds have escalated a little bit, and happily getting my stack in, blind versus blind here. Clubs versus diamonds? Pretty good picture, huh? Fun.
Oh. 1 diamond, big card. Yeah.
2 diamonds.
1 more big card.
Oh. We're gonna double. Okay, we found a double, so now we're working with some chips here when I pick up pocket aces. After opening it up for a standard sizing and the guy on my left 3-betting, I think that he's gonna have a strong hand all day here.
All in.
So I just decided to 4-bet jam, and as you can see, he snap calls it off.
Call. Ooh, Rockets.
Wow.
Johnny Rockets.
Ooh, ace king versus aces. Here you win.
Oh, a little paint, a little bit of paint.
It wouldn't have mattered. You would have hit the king anyway. Things have really turned around on the second bullet. As you can see, I'm building a nice chip stack. I'm all in too. Nice play with you, man. So things are looking really nice here. We are over 100 big blinds at this point with around 30 players left. So things are going really well, and we have heaps. When Under the Gun opens and the guy that you can see in front of me, he 3-bets it, and then the guy out of the picture 4-bet jams it all in, and he actually has me covered. He has nearly 200 big blinds, and I have somewhere in the neighborhood of 130 big blinds, I believe. And I pick up queens. It's definitely a weird spot, and after a long deliberation, I end up letting it go. The guy that 4-bet shoved with over 200 blinds, he was the chip leader of the tournament, and I was probably second or third in chips at this point. He had pocket 7s, so if we would have called air, I would have had a monster stack, provided that I would have held versus pocket 7s, and things would have been a lot different. I would not have been short stacked when we combine down to under 30 players at this point. When it goes raise from middle position, the button flat calls the raise, and I'm looking at ace queen in the small blind. Pretty automatic shove here, so I go ahead and shove it in. The original raiser with pocket 5s shoves it in as well, and the guy on my right tanks, and he decides that he wants to gamble too. So he shoves it in with the queen jack, and we need to find an ace or a queen to win this one. I wish the pocket 5s would have folded it and you would have called. I got the nut flush blocker though, so. Man, this table's crazy. You guys are just like snapping it off.
before you snap me off with ace high on the river.
Match that, okay? We're still start
Yeah,
talking.
I was talking with Jack on the river, he snapped me off with ace high.
Oh, wow.
Come on. Come on, we dodge it.
We're out. As you can see, I just busted the tournament. No fun. Busting tournaments are not fun, but it wasn't a terribly huge prize pool. First place was 6,100. We busted somewhere around 30th place out of approximately 130 runners. And man, I definitely need work on tournament. The situations, just practicing them over and over. I'm looking forward to diving deep. I'm gonna hop in some cash games. All they got running right now is 1-2, but you can buy in pretty deep. But I'm gonna head into the sea of people that are still here and play some cash games now. In general, it's not a good idea to play cash after busting a tournament, but Andrew and Brad wanted to stick around and award their meetup game trophy and presentation for the guy that won, so I decided to just stick around with them. Ended up winning around $500 to salvage the trip a little bit. But man, the Texas games definitely are good, but the Texas hospitality is even better. One guy gave me some coffee from what I'm assuming is his company, White Rock Coffee. Another guy by the name of Manny gave me a Chewbacca bobblehead. I don't know, it's kind of cool, I like it. But the coolest thing is that the fans are always hooking it up. They're always doing the nicest things. And speaking of the fans, I have a really big announcement that I think you guys are really gonna love. All right guys, like I promised, a big announcement before I let you go. I was nominated for a Global Poker Award, the People's Choice Award, which I think is so cool because it was voted on by the fans. Honestly, I'm just blown away getting nominated. I remember when I started my channel, so many people were like, why are you starting a channel? There's no more room in the poker space for vloggers. But I think it's a good lesson that if you want to do something that you think is fun, it's not worth worrying about who the major players are in the space. Because if I would have gotten overwhelmed with Andrew and Brad having, you know, a combined 150,000 subscribers before I had even started, I might have never started, and it would have deprived me of all this fun I've had along the way. So I'm so glad that I started the channel. And even though I'm an underdog in this award, hey man, underdogs can still win. You know, Rocky versus Apollo. Actually, I think he lost, but, well, and it was fictional too.
I can't believe this has happened. I can't. And I just want to say thanks.
Oh, and there was Danielson, the Karate Kid. He beat like that mean kid from the Cobra Kai dojo. Man, that was fictional too. Oh, we got the US Olympic hockey team beating the Russian Olympic hockey team. That was a real story, and that really happened.
You believe in miracles? Yes! Unbelievable.
So who says I can't win? So if you guys want to vote for me and bring the underdog into the winner circle, and you think my channel has provided a lot of value for you, I'm going to drop a link in the highlighted comment and you guys can vote for me. But I have an even bigger announcement than that you guys are going to really love. As you guys know, I love involving the fans in the channel. Pretty much every video I'm shouting people out, putting up their Instagrams, having them on the actual video. It's really fun for me to include the people that show up to the meetup games and who just support me in general. And since this is a fan voted award, I'm gonna bring a fan with me to the PokerGo Studios at Aria, selected totally at random. All you have to do is fill out the little form, link also in the highlighted comment. So I get to bring one person. Unfortunately, my wife can't make it because she's the bridesmaid in a wedding that's gonna be that weekend as well. So I'm using this as another opportunity to include the fans. I mean, last summer, I flew someone to Vegas and staked them, a total random stranger. I'm always doing stuff like this because I think it's so fun and it pushes me outside of my comfort zone. But I love doing stuff that's outside the box, so looking forward to this too. But like I said, if you can't make it and you still want to vote for me, there's a link down there too. Thank you guys for including me in the People's Choice Award. It means a lot to me. As always, thank you for the likes, comments, and subscriptions. I appreciate you guys so much. And if I don't see you at Aria at the PokerGo Studios, I'll see you in a poker room near you. Hey guys, I don't drink, espresso often, but when I do, I like it to be in a cute little cup like this. Makes me think I'm in Italy, perhaps the French Riviera, sipping on my espresso, starting the day after peeling the Monte Carlo Millions last night.